Oh, hello. First stream of 2024. How you guys doing? Did you have as fun a New Year's as I did? Quack, indeed. You got that bread? Nope, that's all over my backyard. Anyway, you just sat watching television? Well, that's good. Yeah. Happy 2024. There you go. Yeah. It's all in my backyard. Whatever. Hey, I had to pick up the mess in here. That's why I was late. I'm not even kidding. That's why I was late. I had been dreading coming into this office because pickles. I figured out that I still have half of a long drink crayon left. So, I mean, not bad. You really enjoyed my track on Saturday, though. Yeah, it was great. I'm fine, Metroid. I'm fine. Down it? Okay. No. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna. I haven't seen you all year. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop doing this for a little while after this. Yeah, let me just finish this up, and I think I'm gonna stop for a little while. That's yeah, we'll stop for a little while. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I did not I didn't yeah, New Year's Eve was not fun. I mean, it was fun. I had fun with the people that I hung out with. But internally, I was not feeling very well. So I just drank some more. I drank it till it didn't hurt anymore, man. No, yeah, great. And then New Year's Day, I just woke up at 8 a.m. I'm like, I can't do anything right because pickles. It's because pickles. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, consequences were had. Yes. But it's okay. I sweat it out. Yum food, please. 8 months off of a 5-month streak. Thanks, buddy. Happy New Year. Did you get what I sent in the P.O. box? It is down in the car, Nova. I do have it. I have all the boxes. I collected those over New Year's. I mean, you were being fed like a duck. Yeah. Quack. Quack, mother trucker. Should we get it over with? Do you see the game? Too many errors, but decent game anyway. That kickoff return was insane. I think stuff is starting to stabilize, Zizip. We're still making a lot of errors, but we're like 3 deep with most of our roles with people being injured. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's freaking hurt. Ramondre's out. Judon's out. Hunter Henry's out. Our offensive line is not like no one. I'd say we're doing okay given the circumstances, to be honest with you. Like, we're not doing too bad. It probably could be better, but wait till next year. If Bill comes back and we still have Billy O'Brien on O and Steve Belichick on D for D coordinator, I think we'll be all right. Be all right. It's just seasons like this happen, man. Just nothing went the Pats' way this season. It's okay. What is it gonna do? Make me not a fan? They brought me winning seasons for 20 years straight. Whatever. What would you say is with Brady as head coach? He shouldn't be a head coach. He should be a quarterback's coach. Get him in here and teach Mac Jones how to throw a football. Actually, you know what? Screw that guy. Teach Zappy how to do it. Zappy has initiative. That guy wants to play. So I don't know what Mac Jones's problem is, but he can just have his problem over there. I like that kid. He's got initiative. He wants to be there, and that's what matters. Because Brady wanted to be there too. Miami got trounced by Baltimore. Nice. Nice. All right. I don't want Travis Kelce on the Patriots. No, thank you. Kansas City can keep that guy. Hey, Chief. Happy New Year, buddy. Hey, guys, just real quick. Did you see these pictures? You see these pictures from the California Science Center? Take a look. Look at that. They're getting the external tank ready for stacking. That my mom says that was gross. I can't believe you drank that long drink. That's just 3-day-old gin. It's fine. It's aged to perfection, Ma. It's aged to perfection. It was gross. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, check that out, dude. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah, Miles, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's paint. That's not the foam. They painted it orange to make sure the foam, because the foam gets ruined by the sun. It gets super burnt orange. Not like fruit orange like that. The spray-on insulation actually goes on white. It goes on like this. It looks like that. Like the locks down comer right there. It looks like that when they initially apply it. And if you leave it out in the sun, it'll change colors to this kind of deep orange peel. And then if you leave it out for too long, it gets burnt orange. It looks like the sun almost, right? Hey Rob, what's going on? But also, look, there's a Ferd right there. I got a truck just like that. So last thing, then space stuff. Brady is quarterback's coach. Edelman is wide receivers coach. How awesome would that be? Now we're talking. That would be a team. Yeah, exactly, Wombat. It gets toasted by the sun. Yep. ET94, though, is looking good. This is going in the California Science Center, guys. So if you don't know, California Science Center has the shuttle Endeavor. And here, well, they got a render of it down here somewhere.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
They got a render of it. It's down here somewhere. We just got to scroll through. California Science Center is an awesome museum, by the way. Please. God, give me the render! So they closed the Endeavor exhibit because they're going to stack the shuttle in the vertical configuration. There you go. Look. They're making a pavilion in the California Science Center that is going to have a vertically stacked shuttle. They've already got the SRBs stacked, and ET-94, the last shuttle external tank that was used for testing, believe it or not, will be hung there with Endeavor. They're going to vertically integrate it. It's going to be the only vertically integrated shuttle stack and the last shuttle stack. Now, I say the last shuttle stack because those SRBs, that external tank, and Endeavor obviously are all real. They're all flight articles. Endeavor obviously flew into space a bunch of times. ET-94 is a real external tank. That was a real external tank that was manufactured for the shuttle program that ended up being a spare because they changed the tank's architecture. They changed. NASA came up with the SWLT tank design, which is like the Block 2 external tank. And the ET-94 is a Block 1 LWT external tank. There was the Block 0 external tank, which was heavy. The Block 1 is a little bit lighter, and the Block 2 is the lightest. That's the SWLT, super light, or SLWT, super lightweight tank. ET-94 is a leftover lightweight tank because they figured out better ways to make the external tank lighter. And if you make the external tank less mass, right, that means more payload capacity. That's taking, technically, if you want to look at it kind of like in regular rocket nomenclature, that's taking mass away from your second stage. Less rocket on your rocket equals more payload on your rocket. Well, less rocket on your rocket, same amount of fuel equals more payload, right? You can tell Klavic because of the way it is. And that's pretty neat. We're just going to do the right thing and pretend we didn't see that. Oh, speaking of that, Klavic, you actually reminded me. And also, speaking of ET-94, you saw that truck next to ET-94, right? That truck next to ET-94 was pretty ace. Pretty ace. 25-year-old truck still doing work. Speaking of that. Uh-oh. Hey, Vickers. 38-month resub. And Andy with a 69-month resub. Happy New Year, buddy. Check it out. That paint came right around. That paint came right around. Yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. Not bad. I had the whole... This whole thing was up in pieces yesterday. How long will that stay white? Well, I cut it and I buffed it. Zizep, it's not gonna... Hey, thanks for the bits, Jackie. Good morning. Dude, that's the factory paint under there. It's still good. I thought it would have been scorched by the sun. Nope. It's fine. Seems to be growing well. Still not enough to get your mom into orbit. Geeson, my mom's watching the stream right now, so thanks for that. Appreciate it. When is the NASA retrofit going to happen? Oh, I don't know. So, hope you feel good about that. You know, she's watching, and she probably just told you to go screw yourself. Hi, Mom. I'm not going to take that from them. You don't insult my freaking mother. You shot my mother, we're going to have words. Jackery. Nice. Still, it's an improvement. Yeah, it came right around. Came right around. It's really, really not bad. I thought the paint under here was going to be a nightmare. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Yep. Check it out.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Sides have gifted sub to Stu Dogs. Oh, hey, it's white. Nice job. Yeah, Dama, it's... Dude, I took the whole cowl assembly apart. I took the wipers off, all the window washing stuff. I had it in pieces yesterday because, once again, I woke up at 8 and I'm like, you know what? I'll finish this today. We got to do the other side. The other side is still spray painted, but Mother's a good Italian woman from what you've told chat, so I'm guessing she said something along the lines of, say that again, I'll break your face. Yeah, something like that. Andy, what do you got for pictures, man? What's this? The used rockets roll into California. Yeah, there you go. There's that picture. It's off of Collect Space, but yeah. Not that that's bad or anything. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're going to get right there. A full shuttle stack with real shuttle flight hardware, which is really cool. The truck Derek got for his wife. Yeah. Longmire? Yep. Thanks, Ewok. Thanks for giving the world an EJ and putting him up long enough to get him here. Yeah. One VFT to see this. Yeah, I don't know. What stops that from going timber? Physics? The shuttle always could... The only thing that holds the shuttle to the pad physically, guys, is 8 hold-down bolts on the SRBs. The SRBs are bolted. There's 4 on each of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the only thing that holds the shuttle to the pad. You can't hold the shuttle to the pad. That's a really bad idea. Because when the shuttle engines turn on, the whole stack will tilt. So you can't hold the shuttle in place like that. That's not good for it. The shuttle does have fuel lines. The hydrogen and oxygen lines and pneumatics and a bunch of other things are attached to the back of the shuttle, right? But those are designed to bend and flex when the engines fire. The only thing that holds the pad is eight bolts, 8 explosive bolts and 8 frangible nuts. They're about this big. Maybe, I don't know, about a meter long. Maybe, and about, I don't know, a couple inches thick. Yep. But for the sake of the exhibit, would they? No, it'll stay up. It's gonna be fine. The SRBs are made out of steel, guys. They could hold up a building. Yeah, no problem. It's not gonna fatigue it. It'll be fine. It will have fake engines due to SLS, right? So here's the thing about the fake engines that are on the shuttles, Erudite. They're not fake. They're kind of fake. They use spent nozzles. Spent nozzles that are mounted to a mock-up combustion chamber and a mock-up engine mount. They're real. The nozzles on the back of Endeavour, on the back of Discovery, and on the back of Atlantis are real. Those are real nozzles. They're just not attached to a rocket engine. They're attached to a dud. Here. But the nozzle is real. But the engine isn't. There's no engine attached to it. It's basically the equivalent of just a car muffler. So, like, if we look at Atlantis here, some baller pictures of that thing. I love that freaking... That exhibit's the best one. I don't know if the California Science Center is going to top it. It might. See these? These are real nozzles. Those are absolutely real. Those are real AJ-10 nozzles. The plumbing that they're attached to is not. So this part, that's not in there. The plumbing and the nozzles, the real stuff, the stuff that was still good, that's the stuff they left over for SLS. Do they say when the full stack will be complete? I'd say by the end of the year, Klavic. Yeah. I'm a dud. Wait, what? Yeah, those are the nozzles that are on the shuttles are real. They're just spent nozzles from the older parts of the program. Just like this is an older... this website's pretty dope. Ace is flying high. This engine right here is an older shuttle engine. But the nozzle is real. It's just spent. They upgraded it. They had a newer version, etc., etc. The shuttle engines also had a couple of upgrades throughout the tenure of the shuttle program. There was the Block 0, Block 1, and Block 2 SSME. Yeah, they upgraded it a couple of times. Feliz año, amigos. Saludos desde Argentina. Gracias. Feliz año. Feliz año, amigo. 2024. Amigo, no más stream de City Skylines 2. Mañana, amigo. Kerbal Space Program today. Or Kerbal Space Program hoy. Do you know a good resource to help with performance on Satisfactory servers? Oh, Jinzer, that's a good question, dude. And you came in from Starfield. I'm never forgetting that now because I screwed up, dude. Satisfactory? I don't have that much experience playing multiplayer Satisfactory, dude. I usually play in single player. Your Spanish seems to be improving. Gracias. Anyway. So I got one that'll blow your mind. Okay, Zazep, what's up? Did you know that the pool on the Titanic is still filled with water? It's filled with salt water, though. It wasn't a saltwater pool to begin with. Nobody wants to swim in salt water. Ugh. Any ideas for the first KSP2 mission mode? Nova, with KSP2, they really got to get object persistence figured out. We can't really do the mission mode stuff where you launch, build your own pads, etc., until they get some hierarchical stuff figured out, and like boost back and landing first stages, etc. Like they gotta get that stuff figured out. Hey, Sneaky, good morning. Actually, Titanic's pool was heated salt water. Well, it's not heated anymore. Now is it? But anyway, yeah, shuttles and stuff. We could probably go about getting a shuttle stack figured out, Nova, if we really wanted to. But yeah, until we get that kind of persistence with mission mode, I need persistence. I need the game. I need to not dock my shuttle to the space station in game and have the thing just explode. We'll mess with docking hierarchy today, and we'll see if it's any better. Because we gotta build a capsule because we want to send Kerbals out to the moon. I've been cheesing the heck out of that science mode save with the Jubstone Sea rocket, but hey, whatever. To the victor go the spoils. The IFT-1 stack was the first to be deluged because it's at the bottom of the ocean. Fellas, just look at the truck. Just look at the truck, okay? You seem to be the only one that's heated and salty. All right, that's pretty good. I'll give you that. The victor goes to Disney World. Are you going to recreate Apollo? I'll figure out my own mission architecture, Klavic, for what I want to do. It'll probably resemble Apollo because keep it simple to start. But yeah. Yeah, check that out. You have a truck? I have two. The other one is under a tarp because I didn't want to spray any paint stripper on the paint job that's actually good on the other truck. What made you paint it and not keep it red? I actually didn't paint anything. I got the spray paint off. There were 4 coats of spray paint on that thing. Well, 4 in some spots and then 3 in others. It was white from the factory, and then the previous owner painted it blue with white clouds on it to look like a Ben & Jerry's truck. Don't ask. And then it was painted black on top of that, and then it was painted red and silver on top of that. So I took the paint off. What did that? The spray paint was not faring well anymore. Look at the roof. I'm trying to save the roof paint as much as I can, but that paint up there is not good. It's not in good condition. It's a little too far gone. When Worm logo, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty rad. But yeah, I got it back to the clear coat to protect it, to get it so I could park the thing outside and not have to worry about it, because the spray paint was starting to take the factory paint off. You can see like if you look up above the driver's side door, right on the drip rail, you can see the paint's chipping off, and it was taking the factory paint with it. I don't want that. So I want to put the truck outside. I need to, because we got to bring the Dodge in here. So I wanted to make sure that the clear coat is exposed, so the paint doesn't take any more of the factory paint. Yeah, I know that doesn't make sense, but the spray paint, for whatever reason, was adhering to the factory paint, and whenever it would rain, if the paint would chip, it would take the spray paint would take the factory paint with it, which is no good. I can't have that. I don't want bare metal outside. That's a really bad idea. Did you take the cowling off the truck? If so, how was it to take it off? Annoying. It sucked. It's not fun. Sawyer, what you got to do, undo all the screws, get the thing to hang loose for a second, and then you got to open up the hood fully, slide it out from underneath the windshield metal strip, slide it forward just a little bit, close the hood, pull it a little bit more, and then slide it out towards the windshield. You try to pull it any other way, you're going to scratch the paint, you're going to wreck something. You have to go very slow, or else you're going to chip it. I chipped it a little bit, dude. You can't see it, but over by the antenna, I had the hood at 45 degrees, and then weight started to take it, and it kind of crushed the right-hand side by the antenna a little bit, but other than that, dude, yeah, it wasn't bad. You just got to take your time. I would, honestly, dude, if I was going to do it again, I'd put painter's tape all over the edges, like the back edge of the hood, put painter's tape all over that, and then cover the cowling in painter's tape as well. That's what I would do. When you get the cowling off, there's 3 connections. There's 2 connections for the windshield wiper nozzles, and then there's one for the antenna. It's not that bad. I would cover everything in painter's tape again because, yeah, getting that thing out is a pain in the butt. Hey, Patton, what's going on? The NASA hat is back. I didn't finish cleaning this thing, so it still looks super dirty, but, yeah, I brought it back. Brought it back for you, man. My truck win for the weekend was replacing the front brake hoses without breaking the hard lines. Oh, good for you. I got to do it. The washer line dumps into the HVAC box and sprays our eyes. That's an easy fix. But yeah, I had the whole cowl assembly apart. So that was the hungover and Sunday afternoon. Oh, it's been a ride over the past couple of days, Tessa. That's for sure. We need to start a GoFundMe to get a new NASA hat. No, I'll just clean this one. This one works just fine. Patton, it's just like my trucks. I don't want a new truck. This truck works just fine. Throwaway culture is disgusting. Reject modernity. Embrace tradition. Okay? Why do you want to get it down to the original paint and not just down to raw steel and then paint it and coat it? By chance, I figured out that the factory paint's still good in a lot of places. Like, did you see that? Do you see that? Do you see the hood? It looks brand new. It's got a couple of dents in it, but new cars are fugly. Yeah, but counterpoint, 2 trucks. Well, wouldn't it be 3? When I first joined the stream, I thought you actually had a Boston accent. I'm still laughing about it. I hide it, Ginger. I hide that. I don't... Dude, it's not... My Boston accent is not that bad. It's not that bad. I have like a hint of it. So what I try to do when I'm on stream, when I'm not playing that freaking character in Starfield, you know, with this guy, hey, you know, you freaking pirates, yeah, all right, yeah, you're pirates, all right, let me just shoot you in the face. No, that's playing it up. I have a little bit, dude, but it's not too bad. But when I'm talking like on the stream, I try to speak slow and concisely. That's so people that watch that English isn't their first language, they can understand me. Longmire build. Trucks equals hats in the analogy you used. Believe me, I have enough hats. Just hit the pillar. Yeah, cousin from space, Boston. So like you'll hear it pop out from time to time, but I'm trying to not talk like that on stream. During Starfield, we just went the other direction. I just went the complete other direction. And you know what, dude? It's taken me a second to it took me a second to get rid of it, to go back to my regular streaming speaking voice. You may have gotten me another hat. Oh boy. Dude, I will show you this stack of hats that I have. You guys will be like, okay. Okay. It was the red truck you and Brimo picking up on the West Coast, right? Yeah. Yes, this one. Yep. Mm-hmm. Fat stacks of hats. Yep. Do you have a Vice Grip hat? No, then you need more. I have a bunch of Vice Grip merch. I wear it on stream from time to time, Clavic. Most people don't notice. See last. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a very unfortunate thing at Tokyo Haneda not this afternoon, this morning. Unfortunately, there was an airplane collision. Yeah, it looks like a runway incursion. Runway incursion. It was a miracle so few people died. Yeah, a Japan Airlines A350 collided with a DHC-8 Japanese Coast Guard plane. From what I can tell from the footage, it looks like the Coast Guard plane had what's called a runway incursion. So, all right, for the people that don't know, I don't want to show the footage. I don't show footage of people getting killed on stream. That's that's a rule on Twitch. First of all, you don't show violence, but even if it was okay to do, I still wouldn't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing stuff like that. So here, let's go look at Haneda. So Tokyo has two huge airports. There's Narita and Haneda. Narita's up here. It's up there somewhere. You figure you'd be able to see an airport, but Tokyo is like somebody trying to max out a City Skylines game. Ah, there it is. So that's Narita right there. It's funny because there's a dude with a farm in the middle of the airport because, refused to sell. So the taxiways literally go around some dude's farm, which is pretty funny. That's pretty awesome. And then there's Haneda, which is down here. So, I don't know exactly where on the tarmac this took place. It was wherever the active runway was, but it's on the right. Thank you. So, fellas, all you got to know is that every runway for like any major airport. I mean, this is minor airports too. This is just any runway. They have these things. See this thing right here? With the indicators for what two runways you're crossing, because a single strip of runway is technically two runways. This is two runways. So it's one runway when you're coming this way, and it's another one when you're coming this way. So the runway has a heading on the compass. So 16 and 1634, those are opposites of each other. So heading 160, almost due south, which would be 18. Magnetic south, this is a couple of degrees off. That's your runway heading. They line up with the compass. That's what those numbers mean. The L and the R denotes parallel runways. Okay, so 16 left as opposed to 16 center or 16 right. You can only have three types of letters after the number, L, C, and R, and that's it. So that's not the important information here. The important thing is this line right here. That's a hold short indicator, okay? What does that do? Well, that's basically your stop sign for entering the runway. This is technically where the runway starts, where like you're entering the space of the runway here. This is where a plane would stop if the tower did not give you permission to enter the runway. When you're taxiing to and from a gate, all right, the pilots on board are communicating with the ground, with ground control, right? So the ground. So this would be Haneda ground, right? And Haneda ground is what directs traffic on the ground. I know. It does. Trust me, flying is already complicated. This part doesn't need to be complicated. If this part was complicated, we'd have way more problems. So ground basically gets you to a runway, right? It tells you the way what taxiways you need to take to get to enter the runway and make sure you don't run into other planes, okay? So once you get to the short indicator, or while you're taxiing to where you need to go, that's when you hand over from ground to tower. Tower is the one that has control of the runways. Even though the runways are technically on the ground, that's where the planes in the air take off and land. So that's the tower. That's, when it's a radio the tower. That's ATC, air traffic control. Now the cool thing is that there's localized tower control, which basically controls the airspace all around the airport. And then if you zoom out even more, there's center controls. Center controls control regions. There's regions of airspace around the world, like, think of it like states, but with airspace, right? There's center control that controls the airspace from certain levels, basically 1,000 feet to 60,000 feet. Actually, technically, you don't need, it's not 1,000 all the way up to 60. It's technically 18,000 to 60,000 feet, but that's whatever. The center control is what you go to after you leave the tower airspace. Now, going back in. Yeah, there's approach. Yeah, exactly, Crunch. There's approach too. Yeah, there's like basically different tiers of tower, right? So the reason why I'm explaining all this, believe me, I'm going somewhere with this, okay? The reason why I'm explaining all this is because, so what we had is called a runway incursion. From the footage, from what I can tell, it looks like the DHC, the Coast Guard plane, violated the runway. What basically went across this line without permission. That's what it seems like. That does not mean that that's what happened. The ATC could have screwed up. We've seen that before. Now, for whatever reason, the plane crossed the hold short. This marker right here, you do not cross without permission from the tower. You don't cross that line. Do not. Unless the tower explicitly says you are okay to cross this line. Even if you landed on... Say your plane landed on this, say your plane landed like on this runway or something, right? You came in over here, right? And you have to taxi back over to the gate, and you're taxiing over here. And you have to taxi across the runway. No. Nope. Talk to the tower. Do not cross a runway without the tower's permission. Never. Don't ever do that, right? Yes, Victor, we are. So... Now, we don't know what happened here because this happened this morning, but the DHC plane basically crossed the threshold. They crossed not the threshold. They crossed the hold short indicator when that A350 was taking off, and the A350 being a much bigger plane than the DHC-8, the front of the DHC-8 fell off. Yeah, that's very much what it looks like. We know the A350 was taking off, the JAL A350. We know it was taking off. You know why? Because it was full of fuel. Now, remarkably, everyone got off the plane. There were no casualties on the plane on the A350. Now, it's crazy because an A350 is a big aircraft. That's huge. If you don't know Airbuses too well, A350s are almost 747 sized. They're pretty damn big. The Boeing equivalent would be a 777. It's a big plane, right? So all three, actually it was about, I think 400 and change, including the flight crew on the A350, got off the plane. And then they had a nice barbecue on the runway because the plane was full of fuel. There is video, Facha. I'm not showing it because the other plane did not fare as well. Getting broadsided by an A350 going down the runway... Not good. The A350s are a big plane. They have a lot of mass, and DHC-8s are not big planes. DHC-8 is a maritime reconnaissance plane for the Coast Guard, for the Japanese Coast Guard. It's not a big plane. It's something about the same size would be like a, I don't know, a Dash 8, something like that. That's actually the same. That's almost the same plane. It's like a Q400, I think. I think that's... It's just it's a narrow body 2-engine turboprop. Yeah, so unfortunately there were the crew that was on the Coast Guard plane did not fare very well. But all the passengers on the A350 were able to evac, and then they had a nice, like I said, they had a nice barbecue on the runway. Yeah, it is a Dash 8. I'm sorry. I was like, what's another type of plane? DHC. Yeah, it's a Dash 8. It's a small plane. So like an Embraer 190. Sorry, my brain glitched. I haven't streamed in a couple of days. So yeah, I don't want to show it, guys. It's pretty brutal. I don't need to see people we don't need to show footage of people getting run over by a plane. Like I said, showing violence like that on Twitch, I mean, you probably get away with that because it doesn't explicitly show it, but I don't show stuff like that. I'm not doing that. You can go find the footage for yourself. I don't like showing stuff like that on stream. It's just, yeah. I don't even show Challenger or the Columbia footage of it re-entering, and I don't show it. I still don't. It bothers me. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Anyway, yeah, you guys know that meme of the train going down the railroad tracks and the bus goes in front of it and then the train's just like, nope. Kind of like that, only with an explosion. Yeah. From what I can find, it was a landing. I don't think the A350 was landing. I think the DHC-8 was landing and the A350 was taking off because it was full of fuel. There's footage of that plane leaking fuel all over the runway, which, I mean, the runway's toast. You gotta repave it because the fuel, when it burns, it'll warp the runway, and the runway needs to be flat. You had it in reverse. I don't think so. That's not what I saw on the news this morning. The A350 didn't explode. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. The A350 was landing and didn't see the DHC-8. The A350 was on final. Oop, news got it wrong this morning then. Anyway, so, okay, if I had it reversed, either way, I don't know what you call an explosion, but the footage of that plane hitting the other plane, it hits the wing, and the wing is full of fuel, and it definitely combusts. If that's not an explosion to you, I don't know what your definition of it, but it's clearly different from mine. Every single media is reporting an A350 landing. Oh, okay. Every single media. Yes. Okay. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Inconsequential. I mean, it did hit it. It blew up. But if the A350 had the runway, like, here's the thing. So the DHC crossed the hold short point. The Coast Guard plane crossed the hold short, and like, I don't know if that's that dude that like, so that could be anything. It could be anything. It could be the ATC not noticing. The DHC could have had the Coast Guard plane could have had a runway incursion. The A350 might not have been cleared to land. If conditions were hazy, you might, and, the other pilot made a mistake that pilots might not have noticed in time. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Plane was almost fully fueled. As it was a commuter plane, it was filled for multiple runs to save on time. Oh, well, that explains that. Yeah. Well, you can show us this. It makes me happy to see this. Not the real plane. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to. Anyway, the pilot of the Coast Guard plane survived somehow. Yeah. So basically, we had two planes hit each other on the runway. Unfortunately, some people passed away, but that's minimal casualties considering a wide-body jet was involved. That's the first hull loss of an A350. Somebody said it in chat. I was getting to it. That's the first loss of an A350 since it started flying in 2014. I don't know if this really counts, against the A350's design. I don't think it does because, I mean, clearly there was something. This is, like, once again, I'm not going to speak to the investigation because we don't know. We're guessing. We're shooting from the hip here, and that I want to say, like, you shouldn't speculate like that, right? This very much seems like pilot error. Somebody made a mistake somewhere. Planes don't just crash into other planes, and even in my limited knowledge of, like, flying airplanes, which is, I've never flown one in real life. It's just a lot of flight simulator, and I talk to a lot of pilots, so take my opinion for what it's worth. Even if, like, the plane's landing using ILS, which I'm pretty sure all the runways at Haneda have that, it's still up to the pilots to, like, if something goes wrong, take it off the autopilot and fly it away. So I mean, I don't think this looks like, from at face value, it looks like a runway incursion by the Coast Guard plane. But if they had permission to enter the runway, then it's the ATC's fault. This very much seems like human error. It does not seem like there's anything particularly wrong with a Dash 8 or an A350. I've flown on an A350 when I came back from Amsterdam last year. That was last year now. Yeah, great plane. And I'm a Boeing fanboy. That's a nice plane. It's really nice plane. In case of Airbus hit, yeah, Toga pull, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Isn't it like if you can see it, then it's too late? It depends on the conditions, Ando. Like, it depends on the conditions. If it's a clear night and you can clearly see that there's a plane entering the runway, yeah, I don't know. Like, see, like, in that regard, like, yeah, you're kind of right. If the A350's touched down and already has the thrust reversers on and the brakes, and another plane enters the runway, you're screwed. Yeah, there's not much you can do. Like, you could try to steer it out of the way, but if the plane goes into the grass, you got a big problem. That's when, what if the landing gear dig in and the nose of the plane goes into the ground? You're still going 200-300 miles an hour, right? Like, well, not 300. You're still going like 150 miles an hour, which is what, like 200 kph. Even with the thrust reversers on for a second, like, it takes the whole runway to stop a plane that big. Even a plane that has less fuel in it, right? If it was landing, right, which seems to be the case, right? So, how can you still like Boeing after the Lion Air incident? What are you talking about, man? They make some of the safest planes around. 737s have been made for 50 years. The track record speaks for itself. The Max was screwed up. I will say that. That's terrible. But you can't take away the 50 years of getting people where they need to go with 737s. It's one of the best airframes ever made, ever. Like, ever. It doesn't get much better than that design. Like, I mean, that sucks. And I'm not trying to delegitimize the people that died. Like, that sucks too. But also, you sure? Seacrack and I had a very, very rough New Year's Eve. I was good by like 2-3 in the afternoon, though. So, yeah, once again, it sucks. You don't want people to get hurt in civil aviation, right? And this was about as fortunate as you can get for two planes hitting each other. The last time two big planes hit each other it did not end as well. Yeah. I counted it at 15, Seacrack, and I made it at 15 and then a half, and I finished this today. So I was a little late for the stream because I had to pick up the mess in here. There were cans everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Tenerife. Yeah, that didn't, there's probably been other collisions, but Tenerife was the last time a wide body, if memory serves right, Tenerife was the last time a wide body aircraft was involved in a runway incursion like that. It did not end well. Yeah, Tenerife was brutal. Yeah, it's happened before. Yeah. You were the mess in there, sir. You're not wrong. Could it be that the pilot went to the wrong runway and the tower gave permission, not knowing where he actually was? Yeah, Harris, for sure. That's what I mean. We don't know exactly. There could be 1,000 different things here. But I will say, like, from what I understand about piloting, I mean, I never flown a plane, never been in an airport, never been near an aircraft unless it's to get on it, right, and fly somewhere, like as a passenger. But what I do know about airplanes is that you cannot lose what's called situational awareness. You have to, And I know this sounds really stupid, right? It sounds really dumb. But you ever been driving in your car and kind of space out, and then you're at your destination, and you're just like, oh, sweet, I'm here. You ever do that? You ever been driving down the highway and just stare off into the void, right? And you're just driving down the highway, kind of minding your own business. I mean, nothing bad happens, right? But then you kind of snap to like, okay, here's my exit, right? You cannot have that happen when you're flying an airplane. That's a loss of situational awareness. That's not good. Yeah, the autopilot like that is why, humans going on autopilot like that has caused really gruesome aviation disasters. You can't lose situational awareness. So if the plane didn't know where they were and they taxied to the wrong runway, that's on the pilot. That's on the pilots of that plane. But Coast Guard pilots should be pretty well trained. So it could be the ATC that lost situational awareness as well. If they say, oh, taxi to this runway, and then they don't taxi the right runway, and they go on they have a runway incursion without authorization, that's the pilot's fault. But if the ATC says go to this taxiway, and they go to that taxiway, and they give them clearance to take off, and another plane's coming down the pipe, and they crash into them, then that's the ATC's fault. But at the end of the day, you can't lose situational awareness. You can't go on autopilot. Going on autopilot is how people get hurt. So once again, I don't know exactly what happened with this collision. Somebody lost situational awareness. From what I know about planes and about flying and about how this all works, someone was asleep at the wheel. Could have been the ATC, could have been the pilot, could have been the A350. If the A350 didn't have clearance to land, right, and they went to try and land anyway, then that's on them. Do you fly the plane or do you fly the plane? It's an attack on Airbus because they are so automated and fly by wire. Wait, what? No, I don't hate on Airbus. I just like Boeing planes. I grew up with Boeing planes, right? Like, I'm American. What do you want? What do you want? It's not, the Airbuses aren't bad. They're good planes.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
That's why the adaptive cruise control function in my car scares the crap out of you. I don't like anybody hitting the brakes on my car but me. Victory. Adaptive cruise control is kind of nice, but it's giving you an excuse to lose situational awareness. And the funny thing is, hey, XJ, thanks for the 14. The funny thing is, this happened. That exact thing happened in the late 80s, early 90s, when autopilot and GPS navigation started to become a thing. It's like, the autopilot will take care of it. The autopilot will take care of it. I can zone out. I can just sit here and do whatever. And then the plane crashes. Oh, what's it doing now? Right? Like, follow the magenta line. There were these scenarios where pilots would just listen to the autopilot because the autopilot can't be wrong. It's the computer. The computer can't be wrong. And the computer was wrong, and they ended up flying out in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Discovery,
or something like that. I forget the exact scenario, but this happened. Like the pilots had to go through very stringent training in the mid to late 90s to make sure that they weren't just fully relying on the autopilot and you still knew how to fly the damn plane. That's why the autopilot follows the line and doesn't adjust altitude, right? You can set the altitude, Sneaky, sure. Geese had gifted a sub to Airbus A350, nice. Sneaky, you can tell it to stay at altitude, but I mean, I don't know how you could adjust altitude with a 2D line on a screen. I mean, I suppose they're detached from each other. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Supercraft, precisely. As a proud member of the IT crowd, I will never trust the computer with my life. Yeah, Ando, I'm kind of with you on that one. Because people write the software. Yep. I mean, yeah, it stays at the height you are at, and the plane doesn't drop or rise unless the ATC tells them to, right? Well, it depends. It depends on the aircraft, Sneaky. It's not like every plane has a standardized set of controls. Think about it like cars. Like your van doesn't have the same controls as like my truck, right? Even though they're both cars. They both have a steering wheel, right? Like, but they don't have the control systems are not exactly the same, right? Airplanes are like that. Some airplanes have no autopilot at all. Some airplanes have trim only on one axis, right? Some airplanes, actually, I don't know if that one's exactly right, but pitch trim is the one that usually gets emphasized on like smaller airplanes, but don't take that one. Don't take that one fully. Like that could be pretty wrong. He has no idea what VNAV is. Me, Misty? No, I know what VNAV is. I know what that is. VNAV and RNAV. I know what those are. Like that one can control altitude, but not every plane has VNAV. VNAV is still pretty new, right? Or is it RNAV that's new? You might be right. I forget, dude. I have to play more flight sim later. Also, as an IT professional, I'm not sure I'm comfortable trusting my life to another human either. Hey, Marrakesh, 45 months. Thank you.
Discovery,
I've done a few
go with
mishap
throttle up.
investigations for the USAF. Yeah. RNAV is new. LNAV and VNAV have been around for decades. There you go. That's what's right. Keeson gifted a sub to Airbus is better than Boeing. Okay. Hey, what happened to the British commercial aircraft industry? Oh, wait, it doesn't exist anymore. You want to wake up and choose violence, you're going to get violence. Yeah, they do, Ren. GPS approach is now the first thing to choose from if available. Yeah, they gave up on that space program too. Yeah, Nader, that's weird. Concorde is a sad story. It is. Meatwad. I'm not, I'm American. Concorde's still one of my favorite planes. It's right up there in commercial aviation with the 747 to me. That's like my 747's number one and Concorde's number two, like right behind it. It's a very close second. I like both of those planes. They're really, really good designs. You want to see how good Concorde's design is? Look at the Tu-144 and you'll see how good the Concorde actually is. Just because they made one faster than you guys does not mean it's better. Yeah, no, the Concorde is Chad tier next level engineering, man. Yeah, I'll say I'll tip my cat to that one. That plane's fantastic. I've stood in one before, never flown in one. Yeah, the Tu-144 has canards. It's a piece of junk. Okay. Yeah, I said it. Sorry. Cope and seethe. Anyway, going back to this, guys, long story short, this could be 1,000 different things. There's it could be a runway incursion. It could be you don't have clearance to land. It could be a pilot missing the radio. Loss of situational awareness. It could be 1,000 different things. We're gonna have to wait and see. The best results, I guess, are the amount of lives are lost are only in the single digits. And don't get me wrong, you don't want a loss of life. That's terrible. But, I mean, like I said, the last time a wide-body airplane had a collision on a runway, it was not pretty. Just remember Century's theme comes out this year. Nice. Yeah, exactly, Papa Bear. Yep. ILS Air. Dude, there's it could be a bunch of things, man. Like, it's really, really too hard to tell. I mean, we have the footage Like I said, Meatwad, we have the footage, dude. The footage basically shows the Dash 8 entering the runway when the A350 is coming into land. I thought it was taking off, but it's coming into land apparently. So, like I said, dude, you know good and well that could be a bajillion different things. Long story short, you're not supposed to go past that hold short point without clearance. You don't enter a runway without the tower saying you can. We see what happened, but not why. Yeah, I mean, look, there's 1,000 different things, dude. Open mic, they heard ATC was talking to clearance and thought they had clearance. You think so, all aboard? I mean, once again, every aviation accident is going to get investigated by the country's, basically, whatever the Japanese equivalent to the NTSB is. National Transportation Safety Board is what they have in the United States. Every country that's, like Japan has an NTSB equivalent. I have no idea what it's called, but they'll get to the bottom of it. They'll figure it out. Just got in. What happened? 2 planes collided on the runway in Tokyo, Spiffy. Yeah, five souls lost, which is pretty remarkable considering one of the planes was an A350 with like 390 people on it or something. It was big plane. Everybody got off the A350 though. It was the other plane that didn't. Didn't fare very well. The NTSB will be involved too if there was an American airplane involved. Well, isn't the... Okay, refresh my memory. This I don't know. Isn't the Dash 8... Isn't the Dash 8 Canadian? Isn't that de Havilland? Am I wrong? Yeah, it's Canadian. Yeah, it's the Havilland aircraft. How are you feeling Sunday morning? Like trash. I think that's the right way to say that. Yeah, I got you, Uncle. Yeah. Dash 8 is Kazakhstan. Nice. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Like, once again, I don't think this is the planes. I don't think this is the plane design here. I can say that much. This very much does not look like a hardware malfunction. The only malfunctioning hardware is when the plane rammed into the other plane and then one of them burnt to the ground. Like, that's the only malfunctioning hardware. I don't think this is... like, once again, I don't know, dude, it's clear that I don't know too much about this. Like, I know enough, but it's not enough to be able to be like, oh, yes, I know for sure that this is what happened, right? Like, yeah, it's... Victory, I'm not showing that on stream. It's bad. It's bad. I was going to ask the same question. I was like, oh, EJ's streaming. Then I saw all the cans. Dude, Repairy, I was like 15 minutes late for the stream because I had to clean up in here. It was cans and bread everywhere. I made it like 14 or 15 deep. I think I got to race 9, though. Well, I was playing on hard mode. What do you want? The malfunctioning hardware is humans. Probably, yeah. Yeah, Nader, I remember that part. I remember most of the night. Yeah. No, you're wrong. Planes should be designed to absorb collisions like cars for passenger safety. Did you check out Once Human during your days off? No, I didn't get around to it, man. I didn't get around to it. I was doing that instead, Vacha. Except for Kraken's sake, the reporters are dumb. Yeah, yep. I got the factory paint back, dude. That was underneath the spray paint, guys. I did not paint the truck. I took paint off. There was a lot of it, and it took a long time, but I did it. Yeah, 97's really, really coming along. My goal with the 97 is because the truck, when Hoonigan had it, was called the F2 Shitty. My goal with the truck, it's something that I find really funny, would be to make it, like, make that truck as nice as possible, like, make it mint. And it's funny to me that a truck that like cleans up like that, it looks really good, is called the F2 Shitty. Like, I think that's funny. I want to dress it up. I want to make that truck look real nice. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be any trailer queen or anything. I'm still gonna use it because trucks need to be used like trucks, and I hate it when trucks get used like SUVs. Pet peeve of mine. If you know, you know. But yeah, no, we're gonna shore it up and make sure that we're gonna make it do work. Is the clear coat intact? Yep. F2 Spiffy. Yes. Discord was much quieter after you left. I didn't leave. Brimo did, Sniper, to be honest with you. When it's over, EJ will need a picture to prove it's the same truck. Yep. If they engineered planes to the same crash standard as modern cars, they'd never get off the ground and they'd be too dang heavy. Are you saying that modern cars are too heavy, Tessa? You're more likely to get into a collision with a car, though, than you are with an airplane. Airplane collisions should not happen. But also, F2 Pretty. I like that. Must have cringed when the Lincoln Mark LT came out. Wait, what? How did you remove the spray paint without damaging the original paint? So, it's a combination of things. Yes, I was wearing a mask, abso-freaking-lutely. For this concoction, it's, yeah. No, not the crappy one that I used when I was painting the other day on stream. No. So what I was doing is I was taking brake clean, non-chlorinated brake cleaner, and mixing it with acetone so it wouldn't evaporate as fast. And you basically spray that on the spray paint, and the brake clean and the acetone cut together react with the spray paint because it doesn't have clear on it. It was just spray painted. And believe it or not, it doesn't react. Yeah, it doesn't react with the clear coat. It coalesces and turns the spray paint into like this like oily pudding, I guess. And then you got to get that off. So acetone cut with non-chlorinated brake cleaner, and then I have a drill attachment that's basically a toilet brush for the drill, and just sit there and grind away. And the toilet brush only takes the spray paint off, and it doesn't eat at the clear coat because the clear coat resists the brake clean for whatever reason. If the spray paint is water-based, use rubbing alcohol. Yeah. Rubbing alcohol didn't work as good. Like Goof Off in rubbing alcohol did not work second rate as good as like brake clean with acetone. Yeah. It's not good to breathe. I had an N95 on because, yeah, it's just one of those chemical smells when if you get a whiff of it, you're like, yep, that's probably not something you should be breathing. So yeah, I was careful. I was very careful. Like that stuff, it smells. Kind of smells like menthol once it's all mixed together. But yeah, no, it's not that. I know chemically, I know it's not that. So yeah, I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. N95 does nothing to stop vapors. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the other reason why I did it off stream is because I don't want this conversation to happen. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other reason. That's the other reason why I just got it done. Epoxy resin mix, now that'll get you flying. With my truck, yeah. So, I understand. I understand that that's not, you need a respirator. I get it. I get it. The garage was vented. I'm not just sitting there hotboxing paint fumes. Don't worry. Yeah, they're not expert, Sniper. They're right. That's the thing. Like, the flip side of that is that's correct. That's the correct information. I know the risks involved, and the reason why I don't do it on stream is because I'm going to have a bunch of people telling me the risks involved the whole time, and they're not wrong, but then it's just me having this explanation 1,000 times over, and I never get anything done. Porter with the raid, what's up? So, yeah, believe me, I know the risks involved. Well ventilated. I had the garage door open. It's all good. Porter, thanks for the raid, buddy. Happy 2024, man. Like, I know, and don't get me wrong, like, you guys aren't wrong. I know that's right. I get it. Just what I do in my spare time's none of your business. Porter with the upper decker raid. Oh, what the heck, man? Upper decker raid? Why would you do that to me? You jig off. So, yeah, fellas, I get it. I know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We were well ventilated. Big garage door. Because it was actually nice. It's actually nice over the weekend. It was like 50 degrees. So, yeah, that's good enough. Compared to today, it's not nice. It was 25 degrees Fahrenheit this morning, which sucked. That's like, I don't know, like -6 or -7 C. That was not fun. It's just frost everywhere. And then snow is coming on the weekend, so that's good. I disagree, Huff Paint, be a real man. Yeah, Canuck, they said we're going to get a nor'easter, which... What's 50 in normal units? Like 12 or 13 C, Ando? Which is super warm for the winter. That's super warm for the winter. 50 is 10? Yeah, approximating. So, yeah, it's... Ando, if Poland has the climate that I think that you have, hoodie weather. Hoodie weather. You know what I mean. It's not like full winter coat, but you're not out in shorts and a t-shirt either. Hoodie and jeans. Yeah, it was nice for working. Yeah, no, it was great. It was sunny. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, you're not breathing. Bingo, exactly. Hoodie weather for me goes down to about 0. Once you get below 0, then it's layers. If you get way below 0, that's when you break out the winter coat. Yeah, exactly. The winter coat only comes out at probably -10 to 15 C. So that, for Fahrenheit people, that's like 15 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's hoodie weather, dude. So yeah, I got it done. I skied in -42 C 2 years ago. That's cold. Fun fact, -42 centigrade is the same as -42 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Yep. That's where they actually cross. Indeed. So yeah, no conversion is needed. No, it's 40. Oh, it's 40. So some conversion is needed. You guys aren't making my job easier today, huh? So I'm just gonna go outright and say it. Can you do me a favor and not be a bunch of pricks? Thanks. Thanks in advance. Signed, Mr. Strimmer. Hey, Crummy, Happy New Year, buddy. Never. Yeah, all right. Actually, no, I'm the whole junk. Thanks, Stuart. I appreciate it. What's this? Hold on, I got a message. Whoa. All right. Hang on. No, you can't see. Go away. It's pretty cool. Give me 1 second. Hey, I'm busy, all right? You guys are going to be jerks to me. I'm busy, all right? Wait a second. Be patient. Yeah, I got 12 people on hold, but I can talk. Now I'm ready. I'm just pretending like you're not here, especially you, Sirius. It was fine, Taylor. Nice, Sea Kraken. Well, they're being mean to me. They're being mean. Meanies. Anyway. Yeah. The reason why I went back over here is because this weekend we're going to have a what's called a nor'easter, or a nor'easter, if you're from up here. Basically what happens is a storm just gets stuck right here and just sits there and just gets stuck in basically a meteorological tide pool and just keeps dumping snow over and over. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah, step storm. Yes, it's just going to get stuck. Yeah, that's good. Since we're not doing a state of the stream, are there any fun plans for 2024 that you can share with us? Oh, yeah. Well, state of the stream, I don't think I necessarily need to do one. Sean, I think I know what we need to do. More cities, more KSP, stuff like that. Do I have any plans? Yeah, I have some stuff teed up for March. Yeah, some stuff. Oh, nice, Nikki. Apply your stationary skills and get a wind turbine. More satisfactory? Yeah, we can do that. Wedding? No, I already did that. I already did that last year. Boston Blizzards are the reason you became a good cook. Nice. Any road trips? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know that. Congratulations. Thanks, Baranok. Yeah, don't worry about it. All good. So I have some stuff lined up for March that I'm going to try to put together. Maybe PlayStationers and I'm hooked again. Nice. Nice. Factorio expansion in Q3 2024. Yeah. So I am not going to be here the 25th through the 29th. I mean, that's 2 of those days are over the weekend. So I'm not going to be here for that because we're going down to Florida for the, me and Geek are going down to Florida for the Rolex 24. So there's that. That's cool. No word on being able to stream I'm trying to see if we could do some stuff from like the paddock and whatnot, but there's a lot of permissions, and because it's a broadcasted race and this is a for-profit stream, etc., you got to make sure you go through the proper channels. So that might get complicated really, really quickly. So we'll see. You should plan to see the total solar eclipse on April 8th. It's pretty close. I got a place reserved in South Padre Island for President's Day weekend. Hopefully something fun happens when you're there. Nice. I will be camping at Rolex for the weekend. We'll have to grab a beer. Andy, we will do that. Yeah, absolutely. Any plans to play Flight Simulator? Yeah, clearly I need to brush up on my planing. We need to plane better. So, yeah, I mean, we could get that done. I got the flight yoke. It's just sitting over there. Gotta get that out. So yeah, we'll do more of that. I do want to play more Flyout. We need a satisfactory server that we can all go ham on. Oy. Isn't Neutron launching this year? Maybe. Let's see if we can cover the map. Yeah. I don't think Neutron is going to fly this year. Rolex 24 meetup? We can do that, Rev. Sure. Yeah, I'm down. That's why I told you guys about it. Me and Geek will be there. And yeah. And then we should have a couple of leeway days before and after. If you want to do a meetup or whatever. Or we can meet up at the race. It's up to you, dude. Like, have you played Star Citizen? Fionkin, I don't play Star Citizen out of fear of getting addicted. Because if I play Star Citizen, I'm probably not going to play all these other games that I want to play. Like, dude, just on a quick side note, when I was younger, you played a game and you finished it, and then you had to wait. You had to wait a little while until another game that you wanted to play came out, right? I just want to point out, we're in like a gaming renaissance right now. You can play whatever you want. There's 1,000 different games that all scratch the itch, and you got to, trying to burn through the catalog. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have as a streamer, I guess, right? Like, hey, Happy New Year, Jimmy. Like, it's not a bad problem to have, but yeah, like, there's a lot of games to play. Hang on. Just gotta shut the door real quick. It's not a bad problem to have, though. That's for sure. But yeah, Star Citizen is one of those games where I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Hey, D-Pick, 39 months. Thank you. So I might be there. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll organize some kind of meetup, dudes. Not a bad problem, but still a problem. Yeah. I've resigned to the fact that beavers aren't coming back. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll play Timberborn again. But it's always a balance, dude. It's always a balance, you know? I remember staring at the rental shelf saying all these games suck. Yeah, Meatwad. And then you get a game that you're like, I don't know if we should get this. And then you get it and it sucks, and then you have it for a couple of days and you're like, this game sucks. I hate it. Right? I have a VR rig, Aqualix, yes. Yeah, we'll try to burn through one game at a time. You guys did seem to like when I set a month aside to just power play the frick out of a game. It worked pretty well with Starfield, and it worked pretty dang well with Cities too. So, I went back and looked at that's definitely a good way to grow the stream. But power playing a game like that and then going back to Kerbal is kind of I don't want Kerbal to just be, oh yeah, that's the game. That's the game when we play when other games aren't out. No, I want Kerbal to be special too, because it's Kerbal, right? Yeah, it's easier to follow up. Yeah, Balbon. How I did it in the past was I would play like one game every week, or like one game one day a week, and that kind of fragments the VODs. It makes it hard to catch up. It's hard to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I don't want Kerbal to be like that back burner game that we play when there's nothing else to play. I can't play. First of all, I can't play Kerbal like that. Second of all, if I did try to play Kerbal like that, because I can't play Kerbal like that, the content would suck. My top priority is to grow the stream and get paid through good content, not no gimmicky crap. I don't like that. That's not my style. That's not to say that other people that do it, like I don't hate on them. You do whatever you need to do to make your stream money. But if I can help it, that's not what we're gonna do. You like X game on X day, you're a creature of habit. I do want to bring GTA racing back. We will race on Saturdays. Yeah, I want to do that. GTA racing is too fun to not do. And with the hype from GTA 6, yeah, I don't know, dude. I had a week before the GTA 6 trailer came out, I kind of had no intention of doing it racing much. Like, I know I wanted to go back to it, right? But I was just like, I don't know. And then the 6 trailer came out, and I'm like, yep, let's play it. It's not good. Did they fix the in-game cheating? When we played the other day, we didn't see anything like that hired. It's just the game is really glitchy, that's all. Did I like your new track? I don't know. Maybe? Son, shutting down to the next time you play. Well, it's not gonna be very long because we gotta play. I want to play Kerbal today. You don't remember? The last track I remember playing was a drift track, and I remember I sucked at it. I was like, I can't do this. And yeah. Yep, that was it. Yeah, I didn't like that track. But I think impaired judgment kind of made it a little bit of biased in the I hate this track direction. Let me play it when I'm not on the floor getting force-fed bread, which all came up, by the way, later. Yeah. Yeah, that's all over my backyard, so that's good. Did you play with the steering wheel? No. Yeah, no, it came up in the backyard. EJ_duck. Whack. Yeah, we were feeding the deer and the turkeys. It's fine. Fruit snacks also came up, Sea Kraken. Yeah, it's fruit snacks, beer, and bread. And when you kind of put those three together, well, yep, okay, that makes a lot of sense why you wouldn't be able to stomach that, you know? Was it green? It was too dark. I don't remember. I was trying to walk back to the house to get to the bathroom and bed, and I made it out the garage door, and that's about it. Yeah. I'd say in terms of percentage of journey from this seat to my bed, we probably made it about 5% of the way there before I went. I looked like Gary from Team America. Get out of the street, you freaking bum! You gave up on life, didn't you? It was like that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Vacha, I did the New Year's Eve stream the day before. Hey, Kilo, what's going on? 57 months. Thank you. I did the New Year's Eve stream, New Year's Eve. Yeah. I wanted to spend New Year's Eve this time around with my family for a little while. So that's what I did. I had my family and some friends over, and yeah, I did normie stuff on New Year's Eve. It was pretty fun. So when is the state of the stream? We're kind of doing it right now, Hell Hydra. I don't think I need a state of the stream, Guys, I from what I can tell, people have been pretty much liking the direction that we're going. I don't think it's really needed. How's the liver? Oh, I'm fine, Tessa. Like I said, I got up at 8 on New Year's Day and went out and took the whole front of this thing apart and put it all back together. Yeah, it's all good. That's what I did yesterday. I went out in the morning and I worked through it. Whatever. Yeah, drummer, I don't know either.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Nice, Nader. Hey, French Invader, 23 months. I'll just throw it up as miscellaneous. Okay. They're both in the shop. Yeah, I got the hood and the cowl all cleaned out. Cleaning all those little holes in the dang cowl was... that took a long time. Not great, Bob. Yeah, that was tough. But yeah, well, I'm like, once again, fellas, I think I know what I got to do. There's not really anything where I'm like, we got to do that, like, or I got to change this, I got to change that, like, I've been, through 2023, I've really worked on being more punctual for the stream. It did start to slip around the holidays for a second, but, yeah. I think we got to focus on more stream longevity. During the holidays, and this is what I mean. During the holidays, I would be a little bit late, and then I would leave a little bit early. Now, don't get me wrong, we were still hitting 8-9 hour streams, but it's very clear to me. Hey, Zeros, thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. And French Invader had a 23-month resub in there. Thanks, buddy. Hope you had a good New Year. It's very clear that there's a lot of you that watch at night, that are here at night. So I want to make sure I don't let those folks down. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm here for you. Like. So, but also there's, people that are overseas in Europe, and I also want to make sure that, I'm here for them as well. Like, I gotta bridge the gap. So you received a tip as well? Oh, headphones went off. Thiek with $5. Thank you very much. You're my parasocial friend. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man. That's fine. I'll talk to you. It doesn't bother me. It helps my day go by. Let's go. Can you bring back a regular Space News segment? Maybe not 3 hours, but maybe for an hour a couple times a week. Yes. Jim, that is something that I want to do. We got to get back into the Space News game. That's something that slipped Q4 2023. Yeah, Space News is coming back. Even if it has to be in the middle of the day. That tends to be the best time to do it because that's when the most amount of people are watching. I'll tell you guys straight up, though, and once again, this isn't based off of what I've seen. This is based off of just the analytics, so it's pretty empirical. Changing categories, I found past 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time, it's not really good for viewer retention. And once again, I don't know how much other streamers talk about this kind of stuff. Like, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. But the second I stop Space News, a bunch of people leave. And that's fine. That's okay. I don't get offended by that. Like, some people just come here for Space News and then bugger off. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I don't take it personally. One of my big rules of streaming is to not expect anything from anybody. Right? You don't expect nothing. But I do find that, those people leave, your stream starts to lose traction, you switch games, right? And the people that do come for that game,
I found that if you start that a little bit earlier in the day, you get much better retention throughout the night. My guess, this is a guess, my guess is that's the 9 to 5 crowd coming home and turning a stream on that they want to watch. So if somebody is out there that wants to see me play Kerbal, for instance, right, and not really into Space News, or wants to see me play like Cities or something that's not into Space News, they'll see me doing Space News and they won't click on the stream, they'll go somewhere else. They'll go find somebody else that's playing Cities. And then, because, you know, it's the winding down at the end of the day, you don't switch streams. Like, people don't do that. Like, some people do, right? If you really want to go watch some content, right? But yeah, it's tough to build traction changing the category like that, like past 5, 6 o'clock. But the flip side of that is that for the people that do want to come here for Space News, which is a lot of you, right? People want to come home right from work and see me play Space News. So, yeah, it's a balance from what I found. And once again, that is not me like that's not my opinion. That's just what the numbers are telling me. And now, don't get me wrong, there has to be some analysis on the numbers, right? Hey, Gil, thanks for the 47. You gotta find that balance between the algorithm and being true to yourself and methods. Well, yeah, JSpeed, there's got to be a way to do it. Hey, Vlam, Happy New Year. Definitely here for Space News. 5 hours of Space News every day is too much. I really tried to focus on playing games from September through December, Chief. And I will say, and here's the thing. That's really good for the stream. Turns out that a website where you're supposed to stream games, if you stream games, people like it. Now, those better numbers could be because a lot of good games came out. A lot of games that people want to see, Cities, Starfield, stuff like that. You know, and then KSP2 with the science update, right? A lot of those good games did come out. So that probably has a lot to do with it. But still, at the end of the day, it's still playing games, right? Leaving commentary out of Space News might help, and discussion during games might be the better option. I think that's the right move, Hellfish. We got to finding the balance is good. Now, don't get me wrong, fellas. Like, you guys know good and well I can sit here for 8 hours and we could just talk space the entire time. It's no problem. I could do that. But on the flip side, I want to play games to grow the stream so more people can learn about space. That's still my goal. I want people to learn about space and why the space program is vital. Like, or just learn something interesting at all. Just learn something. But hopefully it's about space. Like, that's still my thing. But we can't do that, and we won't be able to grow and branch out and have more people learn about space if I'm just doing Space News all day. So we got to kind of find the balance there. That's the other thing. I need to get back to covering more rocket launches. Once again, Q4 2023, I kind of got away from it for a little while. Just because the holidays got a little crazy and the weird launch times. But yeah, we got to get back to covering more. We don't cover enough. Maybe just do Space News on Fridays. Yeah, but Tessa, the problem is that sometimes stuff is warranted to talk about, like, right when it comes out, right? And it's better to capitalize on, like, really, really high-profile news the day that it happens. This is another thing that I've checked. I looked into with numbers. Like, you're going to get better. So, like, say they install an engine on SLS. It's better to cover that news that day. You know, like, it's old news by the end of the week if they did it on Monday. Like, as much as I hate saying that, like, that's weird, right? It's true. Yeah, Chief. Mm-hmm. You missed quite a lot of launches last year. Granted, every late launch every year lately has record launch counts. Yeah, Blue, a lot of Starlink missions. But see, the flip side of that, dude, is that people don't care. I hate saying that, but Starlink has become normal. People don't give a frick. If I stay up, like, and once again, I hate that this is a thing. I hate running the stream like this. I don't want to run the stream this way. But If I stay up till 2, 3 in the morning to cover a Starlink launch, and 400 or 500 people show up, and we all go to bed, all I've done at that point is just screw up my sleep schedule. And that means when people do show up the next day, I'm just like, you know? That's... Now you're eating into the business at the front end of your stream. This is the problem that I have. They launch so freaking much. So, once again, it's hard. Yeah, every Starlink launches a window from 11 to 3. Yeah, it's tough to balance that out. Yeah, like, if Starlink launches were every day at 8 p.m., we'd be good to go. But they're doing construction on Pad 40 during the day and launching at night. Heck, the rocket, sometimes Starlink rockets aren't even teed up on the pad during the day. They finish construction at 5, and then they start integrating the rocket at like 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then they launch like at 11, which is... Now, frankly, that's really freaking cool, to be honest with you. That's really freaking cool that they're just teeing up Falcon 9s at that rate. It's amazing, and the rate's only going to get crazier this year. SpaceX is going for 100 plus. Oh yeah, they're going to go for 100 plus. We're talking sub 2-day Falcon launches. So like 2 to 3 times a week, which is awesome. It's so freaking cool. I love to see it, right? But once again, we got to grow the stream and we got to play games. That means I got to be here. I got to be here to play games for long periods of time, but also cover these rocket launches. I'll try to do it. Like I'll try. I'm not sure I have the bandwidth to do it. That's pushing me to the limit. That means every stream is going to end up being a 12, 13-hour stream. I don't know if I can do pandemic streaming again. And if I stop and then come back for it, no one shows up. No one shows up. But then again, who cares? I want to watch the rocket launch, you know. I don't... If I'm up and the Starlink launch ends up going, I watch it. I usually watch every single one of them. It's the ones that are like 3, 4 in the morning. I don't want... Once again, I don't want to screw up my sleep schedule because I need to be here the next day. How many Falcon 9s do they have in rotation? 1060 to 1082. I think. Someone fact check me on that one, please. Launch highlights. Yeah, Elvis. The other problem is it's hard to get launch highlights because VODs on X are VODs on X. I have to go find it and go figure out how to do that. Speaking of construction, are you excited for the Boca Chica twin launch pads? 2 towers, don't call it twin towers. Don't call it that. 2 towers. Lord of the Rings, not the other thing. And that's per Elon. Yeah, it's cool. Hey, Rob. Happy New Year, buddy. Whoa, close call. Yeah, we don't want to call it that. Thanks, DJ. So, yeah, once again, dudes, I got to find this balance, and I'm not sure where that balance is. Like, yeah, it's hard to say. If there is a Starlink launch, I only watch if I'm around. Not anything I go out of my way to anymore. SpaceX has sadly made it mundane. Yeah, Red, exactly. Like, and it's not that in Red, I don't. Thanks for that personal anecdote. I appreciate it, but I don't think it's even that. I think people need to get up in the morning. People need to get up in the morning for work. Even if people want to see it, you got to get up in the morning. That's my problem. I got to get up. Set aside 1.5 hours per day for space news. If there's no space news to be had, just skip those days. Nader, yeah, it's easier said than done. That ends up making a lot of backlog. I've tried that before. It makes a lot of backlog. If I limit space news to 1.5 hours. And the hard part of this is not getting into a discussion about the space news, right? If I'm just sitting here, this is something that I've always had to wrestle with, dude. If I'm sitting here just regurgitating the news, right, and not paying attention to chat, well, now I'm in competition with everybody else that does that. Some people, NASA spaceflight, are way better at doing that than I am, and have way more resources to do that. You know what I mean? The whole discussion thing is what makes space news good, so it's always a double-edged sword, right? Just put yourself on a timer. The flip side to this is, what if Space News, what if we're talking about a very interesting topic and the view count goes high, and not the view count, that's not, I have the view count disabled like during the streams. What if we're talking about something and everybody's into it and we get more people that way, right? Like that can grow the stream as well. So if we're talking about super interesting things. So trying to find that balance is tough, especially since I have the view count off. I shut the view count off a long time ago. I don't look at it. I look at it after the stream. I look at the telemetry after the stream. We don't look at the telemetry in real time. That's a good way to go crazy. So putting yourself on a timer doesn't really work either, because if you're in the middle of a really good discussion, Space News can sometimes go long, and that ended up being a bunch of people's problem. With it, it ended up, there's only so many hours in the day, and it ended up giving us like literally no time to play any games. So I don't think we should watch NSF's daily Starbase time-lapse videos, though. That was easily 2 hours every time. Yes. But also at the same time, Shaw, people come to me for, well, they don't anymore. People came to me for Starbase questions, and if I don't watch that every day, then I'm not going to have the answers to their questions, and they'll go get their answers somewhere else. It's hard, dude. Like I said, this is it seems like, okay, just do Space News less, or just do Space News more, or play it day by day. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It needs to be dynamic. It's especially also with rocket launches, it needs to be dynamic. So it's not really a question of whether you should do this or whether you shouldn't do this. I have to figure out a way to be more adaptive. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. I know, Chief. I just said that. I understand. That's why I just said that. I get it. See what I mean? It's a balance. We have to learn. I have to learn to be more adaptive with it, and I haven't found that balance yet. It's tough. It's tough to get everything right because you got to do Space News when everybody's watching, but and everybody wants to get the Space News at the same, around the same time. So we have to, on the later end for the European viewers, prime time on the East Coast of the U.S., because that's when the stream gets the most amount of traction, right? So it's tough. It's tough to find the balance. But then again, if I let Space News go too long, right, and then switch to a game, then nobody shows up, right? Even if it's Kerbal, it's tough. It's a tough problem. Tough problem to solve. I type as fast as I can. I know. Yeah, I know, man. It really depends. If you're on a circular shuttle rant, then it can be done when you're playing something. You're discussing, is this reasonable to a point? I got away from doing rants in the latter half of 2023. I tried to stop it completely. I can count like 1 or 2 times off the top of my head where I talked about the shuttle, talked about space flight policy, etc., etc. Yeah. What, DJ? What are you talking about, man? Yeah, God, it's tough. It's a tough balance. For what it's worth, EJ, not at any point watching your streams, never sprang to my mind that there's too much or too little of anything. I think you got a good balance. Yeah, Wolfie, the other thing is that with long format content, and this is something that people may have not considered, with long format content, you got to go with the flow of the stream. You got to go with the flow. That's the right move. It's the right move every time. If you try to do curated content, so this time period for this thing, this time period for this thing, it doesn't, dude, that doesn't work. It does not work. Don't get me wrong, it's okay, but it's tough because during the pandemic, what I did to do, this was my secret for doing 16-hour streams a day, right? What I would do is I would take breaks. We'd have 4 hours of games, 4 hours of Space News, 4 hours of games, and then after hours. That's what I would do. And the streams would end up going 12 to 16 hours. I did nothing during the pandemic but stream and sleep and eat. That's it. That's all we did. So the breaks are what did that. But here's the thing. It would suck if I'm really into a game and we're gaining the streams. Once again, I would see the numbers. They don't lie, right? We'd be gaining traction and the numbers would start to go up, and then I'd take a break and the numbers, and your stream ends up looking like an EKG. It's not a good way to retain viewers. During the pandemic it was, not now though. People got stuff to do. And it hurt your health too. Not really, Hellfish. I mean, I can only do it for a couple of months straight. You know? Like, it was 16-hour streams every day, and then it was 12-hour streams every day. And then eventually we petered out, but not petered out, we went back to 10-hour streams a day. That's nice and healthy for me. I think your problem is trying to find a balance, jack of all trades, master of none. You can't hope to really find a balance that fits everybody. Pick what you like and is flowing and stick to it. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's about being adaptive, Tessa. It's not jack of all trades, master of none. If I sat here and played Kerbal all day, nobody would care. I'm serious. Like, it's exactly what happened in that drought period between Kerbal 1 and Kerbal 2. Like, dude, you can only go to the moon so many times before people don't give a frick. You can only go to every planet in KSP so many times before people don't care. You gotta come up with other ways to retain people's attention. And that's the original reason why I pushed for launch pads, because in 2018, 2019, when Kerbal was not losing ground, but when, it had kind of done its, run and people started playing other games, etc., right? Like, you needed something that was different. You needed to build cranes. I needed to have a helicopter building stream, right? Or building cranes, or building launch pads, etc., which I still could do that every day. I'll be honest with you. I could still make it every day. Like, if we tried to go and do that in Kerbal 1 right now, I could make some pretty good progress. I know I am a lot better. I'm a lot better at mechanical engineering now than I was 5 years ago. Like, a lot better. For what it's worth, the KSP2 tips video on the VOD has gained a lot of traction. Evidently, there are a lot of newcomers. Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that when Force Science came out. Yeah, so... Yeah, like I said, I have to focus on being more adaptive. We have to... I think going to syndicated content is not the right move. That's not a good idea. It's a long format. It's a stream. This isn't YouTube. Because if I do syndicated content, now I'm competing with YouTube content creators. And that's not a good idea. We will get crushed just under the weight of just the sheer amount of them. Right? We will get crushed. YouTube content creators be like, I will break you. I will break you. You know what I mean? Gotta be careful. See what I mean? I think I just gotta focus on being more adaptive. That's all. Like, if it's a Friday night, and Starlink, there's a Starlink launch at like 11 midnight, why not? I'm not getting up the next day. It's fine. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Let's stay up to the launch. Screw it. Right? But on like a Tuesday, no. Everybody has to go to work. I can hear Matt smiling over a glass of whiskey at the possibility. Shh, I will break you. Yeah. I'm taller than him. All right? I've met him. I'm taller than Matt. So there. Does it frustrate you that you can't focus on one thing as a content creator, or are you happy with the balancing act? Imperator, it doesn't really bother me. It's just finding a good blend is what I'm after. Dude, I could sit here and play Kerbal all day. I could sit here and play Cities all day. No problem. Easy peasy. Yeah, that's no problem. The content that I could provide has never been the issue. It's timing that and finding a way to time it so it's most effective in the right spots, right? That's where I'm at. We gotta time it so we're doing the right thing at the right time. That's a little bit harder to predict. Yeah, Hellfish. Yeah, I'm taller, so there. No, Imperator, it does not frustrate me at all. I like the challenge. That's one of the things that keeps me going, man. I love it. Dudes, I'll tell you right now. I could sit here. The unicorn that got away from me is the Kerbal One shuttle launch pad. I want to do that. We made the shuttle stack. I want to do it, but I don't think people care. I don't think people give a frick. I want to do it though. Really, that would be really fun. That's the one that got away, man. Actually, there's a lot of ones that got away. I could do them a lot better nowadays. I know you actually, you know what would make doing reintegration easier? Like, you know what makes it easier for me nowadays? Knowing how to hoist stuff. That rabbit hole that we went on, like how cranes work when I was building like lattice cranes in KSP. Oh, that helped tremendous. Yeah. Turns out that if the center of gravity isn't over the pin on your crane, your crane tips over. That's weird. If the center of gravity goes outside of the pin and beyond your the hold down legs, yeah, the crane also tips over. Yeah. I missed the complex KSP1 stuff. I'd love to see it again. We could do it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, counterweight. Getting the counterweight right is super important for cranes. For craning. Mods. Modded KSP guarantees you less viewers on Twitch. Bingo. Yep, that's always been my thing. That's the reason why I don't use many mods, Alex. Because if you mod Kerbal to the point where it's unrecognizable, somebody that clicks on your stream that's looking for KSP is going to see a game that's unrecognizable and leave. Yeah, and that's true. No, if your crane has too much long drink, bread and fruit snacks, it tips over. No, that's your EJ. If your EJ does that, then your EJ tips over. Yeah, at the end of the day, especially if you're doing this to get paid, you have to have content that people recognize and that people understand. I'm telling you, that is very important to content creation. I still want to see you do realistic solar system in KSP. Yeah, that's a good way to do the opposite of what I just said, Endo, but yeah, I get it. With a heavy heart, I have to admit that I avoided tuning into your channel during Starfield and KSP2 to avoid spoilers. It's alright, Pascal. I don't take it personally, dude. I really don't. Doesn't bother me. I get it. That makes sense. Why would that bother me? I think KRPC, drummer, KRPC with vanilla parts, yeah, we could get away with that. We did get away with that. Yeah, I would really like to go and do that more. That would be fun. That would be fun. Like getting something to hover and move around. I would really, really, really enjoy doing something like that. You miss Mosin Man and Tarkov? Really, Gaw? Huh. Spiffy, I'm bringing back GTA racing. I'm not ready to get back into Friday Night Racing, dude. That's a lot of commitment, dude. It's a lot of commitment, and I don't want to half-ass it. Because with racing, dude, like, okay. I hate doing this. I hate looking at it this way. I hate it. Like, one, I don't really feel like doing it, first and foremost. Two, racing isn't the most popular content on the stream. And that sucks. It really kind of bummed me out, that it wasn't. But the flip side of that is that we were doing it late at night when nobody could watch anyway. But I tried to do it on a Friday night when more people could watch. But that didn't work. Even if we did racing during the day on Saturday, people still don't watch. Right? Like, It's just racing is not the content that people come to the stream for. I tried to change that. I tried to change it for almost a decade. I don't know what you want. Like, and then I just got to the point where I couldn't handle like that much of a commitment with, like how crazy my latter half of 2023 was. It was pretty nuts. Yeah, I got you, Spiffy. Well, I'm telling you what's going on, dude. Like, that's the reason why I'm just not really, I don't really feel like doing it. Like, I'm not like as hyped about it as I used to be, which sucks. I'm hoping going to the Rolex 24 will change that, like I'm kind of hoping. I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I want to get back into it, like we'll see. Who knows? I would like to see more IRL streams, but sadly those don't bring in many viewers. Depends on what you're doing, Hell Hydra, yeah. I'm going to the Rolex 24, Illness, yeah. Me and Geek got tickets. Yeah. So yeah, once again, guys, I think, we could sit here and discuss, I should do this, I should do this. That's what we've done for like the past 5 years every time I do a state of the stream at the beginning of the year. I think what it really comes down to is I got to kind of go with my gut, and we got to be more adaptive. That's all. Twitch data is fine, but maybe take polls. I don't know how you would be able to take polls, Ando, without skewing the data. How well do your garage streams do? Not very well. I mean, they do good for automotive content on Twitch, Drummer, but it's not playing a game. I've thought about ways to try and make it kind of like, playing a game. But I have yet to figure that one out. It really, I think with the auto streams, it really comes down to needing a cameraman. And I know we've discussed that, et cetera, et cetera. We discussed the PTZ cams, and getting all that figured out. Like that's cool, but that's
Discovery,
not necessarily. Hey, Hater, thanks for the 31 months. Even that probably is not going to do it. I need somebody to be holding a camera like right next to me and seeing what I'm seeing. Like that's. Like, if I could have a camera mounted right here, like a Mevo or something, with a light, so like two floodlights, it would look like a beer dispensing plastic helmet. Like, if I could have a head cam rig like that, and it would look like I'm wearing like a crash helmet or something, because I need to get like underneath the car and stuff. If we could do something like that, then I think that would change it up. Because the problem with the automotive streams is that sometimes when I'm working, you get camera angles like this. You just get me with my feet out, like underneath the car. Like, here, I'm gonna stand up for a second. I'm just gonna stretch real quick. That's the other thing I gotta get better at. I can't sit here for long times. That's not good for you. Nice work on the truck. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Doom, if we can get the GoPro view to transmit over Wi-Fi and, like, I could get it so the GoPro batteries wouldn't run out, because some projects take longer than the battery time on the GoPro, right? Then maybe. Maybe. It's possible. I'd have to work on it. We'd have to figure out another way to do it. That's something I still want to do, because I do have, is the Coronet still around? Yes, Si. Can you live stream with a GoPro? Ando, you can broadcast a GoPro's view over Wi-Fi and screen cap it on a computer. Think like how you'd screen cap a drone view. Like, you're not broadcasting from the drone. The drone is just on a closed circuit with the remote, right? And then you'd capture the remote, not the drone, right? Yeah, a little janky, exactly. The GoPro's a little... The problem is that because you don't have the record button going, the GoPro times out and it shuts off. It goes into sleep mode. Unless you have an HDMI out, in which case it'll stay on, but now you have a corded connection. See what I mean? So you're going to hang out with Scary, huh? Yeah. Rolls a nat 1 just to waste points. All right, fine. So yeah, there's Mevo cameras that I've talked to Das about. The Mevo cameras could probably do what we're thinking. It's just me figuring, like, that's something I got to do. I got to figure that out. I'm sure you saw Scary's helmet, of course. I'm not going to say I helped him design it, but also. I didn't help him design it, but also. We may have had some influence on that in some way, shape, or form. Wireless HDMI? Yeah, Nader, there's a bunch of ways to skin a cat, right? Like, we just got to figure out the one that's right. Like, I've thought about this. I have to make wrenching as engaging as a video game. And I think that really comes down to what viewers see. Right? That comes down to what viewers are looking at. If I can figure out a way to do a one-man show with better production, I think the auto streams will get more viewers. And also, like, streaming oil changes is not going to... Oh, I stepped on a piece of bread. Great. There's a piece of bread that I missed. Lovely. Yep. All right, now I got to get the vacuum. Hey, Greg. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it, man. You guys know my buddy Greg. Astronomy streams. He's a good dude. Happy New Year, buddy. We just saw a solar flare today. Sweet. Yeah, big one. Big one on New Year's Day, huh? Can you invest in a cameraman? I might be able to, Ando. It's possible. But also, it'd be better if we could do a one-man show. Yeah. I've got UV security cams on battery, 10,000 milliamp output batteries that can be used for this. You can stream straight with RTP, I think. Okay, we'll see. Greg, thanks for the raid, man. Yep. Ooh, pick me. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, Greg's a good dude, guys. He does astronomy streams, so he streams live views of his telescope. So apparently, Greg, from what viewers are telling me, you saw the solar flare. That's a big one. I bought a camera that mounts like eyeglasses and a wireless HDMI transmitter receiver for storm tracing. I can get you the Amazon links for posting again. Shoot me a DM on Discord. Hey, Talby. Happy New Year. Great seeing you. Likewise, man. Likewise. I was watching the stream when the solar flare happened. Very cool. Yeah, dude. Greg's streams are money, dude. We gotta figure out a way to get Greg's name out there a little more. It's an excellent stream. Al Desert, 40-month resub. Greg, so an M-class flare just now caused some radio blackouts. The sun just farted, dude. That's what happened. The sun just farted. That's what I tell people, dude. Like, people are like, oh, why does the sun do that? I'm like, well, it farts. The sun burps from time to time. It happens. See last. I'm not sitting at my desk, dude. I'm standing up. Can't reach the mouse. The sun farts, man. What is this? Scott just bought an airplane? Oh, that's cool, man. Neat. Very neat. Yeah, just shards from time to time, Greg. It had too much Chipotle. You know what I mean? It happens. It's natural. Okay, it's natural. Better out than in. Yep. Scott bought a fractional ownership. Yes. Oh, neat. Consider mounting the camera to your chest, just under your collarbone. More stable, more intuitive to cam with. Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm going to have to work on, dude. There's plenty of ways to do it, but yeah, that's stuff we're going to have to consider for sure. Time sharing for an aircraft. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hephaestus, are we going to go to Duna today? Well, we got to get our crew-rated spacecraft ready to go, so I think we're going to build the pod today so we can get Kerbals up in the air. We can get them up and down reliably. That's the big one. Speaking of racing, the first of the season starts in 3 days. The Dakar. Cool. The Dakar. That's not in Dakar anymore. Chest cam really doesn't work under vehicles. Really needs to be head mounted to see. It needs to be head mounted, and we need lights, dude. Like, I need bright lights, and we're gonna need like a battery pack to keep that going for any usable amount of time.
Discovery.
Hey, Animal, 60 months. You got your worm. Thanks, man. Thanks for all the support. You're on my face. So, the stuff we gotta stuff to think about, dude. It's a pain in the butt being on your back underneath a car and having like even the lapel mic on your belt because you can roll over and turn the stupid thing off. I've done that many times. Face me. No, I don't want to. So you need a lift to make it workable.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah. Ravengard, 45 months on a 42-month resub. The worm makes you think of Wormy. So? I don't know why, Green. I'm not upset by 1058 crashing. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. It sucks. It'd be nice in a museum, but I don't care. I was just like, wow, that's broken. All right, next one. Tax write-off the lift since it's for streaming. You can't write off what you don't have, Poison. I could write off $1 million Lamborghini right now, but I don't have $1 million to spend on a Lamborghini. See what I'm saying? That's the other thing. I think, if we want to do car stuff, like, we're going to have to start doing dumb stuff because that's what people want. Dumb stuff in a controlled environment. Let me put it that way. Nobody wants to see you just do oil changes the whole time. You know what I mean? Link set in Discord DM. Thank you, sir. Dumb stuff in a safe environment. Twin turbo. I was thinking a supercharger, but once again, superchargers are expensive, so we'll have to see. Maybe we'll go to the junkyard and find some turbos and go from there. That would be kind of cool. Consider mounting values to your leg instead. Yeah, I mean, Agalex, I'm not looking for a solution right now. I'm just saying we got to find one. But yeah, that could work too. Colin Furs style stuff. Well, I didn't buy the welder for no reason, man. Like Hoovy adding nitrous to his Prius. Yeah, stuff like that. Actually, there's a build on YouTube right now, dudes, that there's a series that's out on YouTube right now by a YouTube channel called Questionable Garage. Questionable Garage is pretty cool. He was doing a build where he basically went on Facebook Marketplace and found a decently cool car for the cheapest price he could find, and like he's basically trying to fix everything and make it a nice car, spending like minimal amounts of cash, which is actually kind of cool. It's like car restoration on hard mode. Like, try to spend as least amount of money to get the car like super nice. Like, don't just be like, oh, this part isn't working, buy a new part. Like, okay, this part isn't working, take it apart and fix it and try to figure out why it failed and then put it back together and then put it back in the car because it doesn't cost anything to take it apart, right? New reports are saying the A350 had landing clearance with readback. I personally want to see some real rocketry out in the garage. Keg rocket stuff. Yeah, that would be cool, Moto. Also love Vice Grip. Yeah. That's becoming very popular. Very addicting to watch. Yeah, Rob. Dude, I never thought I'd be into wrenching content. Like, Questionable Garage is working on it's an 89 Ford Probe. Nobody liked those cars, not even when they were new. Ford was junk. It was supposed to kill the Mustang, and Ford screwed up. They tried to turn the Mustang into a Mazda 6, which is stupid. Stupid. But seeing Jared at Questionable Garage take apart the fuel sending unit, something nobody would do nowadays. You just buy another one, right? Take apart the sending unit and fixing the potentiometer in there. Like, that's cool. I think that's content that people would like. Because that's like playing on a higher difficulty setting, right? It's like playing a video game. Once again, we have to make wrenching like a video game. You flying or driving to Florida? Plans are not set in stone yet, Sawyer. Ford Probe. Yeah, Victory, exactly, right? But dude, he found a turbo, a 89 Ford Probe with a turbo and a 5-speed, which that's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool car. Yeah. Yeah, Hellfish, yep. Yeah, I mean, it was a turbo four banger from '89 that made like 200 horse. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of power for the time. Hey Don, Happy New Year. Is the Probe the one that looked like an RX-7 without it being cool? It kind of looks like a Mark III Supra, actually. It's the same as an MX-6. Yep. It came like that, Rex. Yeah, from the factory. It's just a Mazda. It's an MX-6 with a Ford badge on it, which personally, like, if you get, this is an automotive pet peeve of mine, but what are you gonna do? I think it's cringe not doing your own engineering and then putting your brand name on it. I know Ford owned Mazda at the time. I get it, but also it's pretty cringe. Does this guy have a telescope? Me? No, I don't. That's Greg. That's Greg's domain. Econ Greg is the guy you want if you want astronomy streams. Like the new Supra. Correct. So, a lot of time for this segment has expired. Yeah, Ford Ranger, you mean Mazda B3000. Yeah, exactly. The Probe was fugly. Is NASA still saying December next year for Artemis 3? They still are, but it's probably going to be a little bit later. Hey Torby, Happy New Year. Also made the MX-6 front-wheel drive, which is just horrendous for that style of car. Agreed. Rob, if Ford had taken the Probe and done a little bit of in-house engineering, because they wanted to replace the Mustang, right? And made something like a 180SX, right? Or a Silvia, they would have sold a bajillion of them. So like 4-banger, 5-speed, rear-wheel drive. Just basically a little baby Mustang. But they would have sold out. They would have sold a bajillion of them. So like a turbo 4-banger. So like a 180SX, I think is what you guys had over there. Right? So like something like the S15 or S16 chassis, or well, S14. Well, no, 13 and 14 at the time. If they'd done that, they would have sold a bajillion of them. Because you're going to discontinue the Mustang. But no, we can't be bothered with actually engineering a car that people want, right? Let's just take this other car that's kind of cool and kind of looks like it. And yeah, let's just do that. Because we save money that way. Like, okay, you save a lot of money that way, and that's why no one bought them. You saved a lot of money, though, didn't you? Yeah, not sure what the point of the Probe MS6 was. It's not good. It's not fun to drive. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. I wouldn't mind the old Toyota Celica revival with the old chassis. Yeah. Hey, man, look, fellas, there's a reason why Toyota 86s sell like hotcakes. Because a affordable front engine, a longitudinal front engine rear-wheel drive, so an FR style car, people still want that. People still want that. There's a reason why Toyota 86s are everywhere. Because people still want that kind of car because it's fun to drive and it's cheap and affordable. Or like a Miata. There's a reason why Miatas or MX-5s hold their value. Because people want those. Yeah, and Initial D. Well, Initial D is sprinters, but I mean, look at the 88.6. That's a simple car. It's not a race car. It's just supposed to be an economical car that Toyota made. And look what happened. I like mid-engine rear drive. Well, I said affordable. But then again, there was the Pontiac Fiero and the MR2, AW11 MR2, SR20 MR2. Those are cool cars. I don't drive yet. What does fun to drive mean or feel? Fun to drive on the street means it accelerates fast and it can go around corners reasonably quick. It's hard to describe driving feel, I guess. People like the Supra's transmission better than the BMW transmission. I swear, if the GT86 had a turbo engine, it would have been sick. Yep. Yep. I'll take a Hilux with the Dishka on the back. Oh, boy. Yeah. The C8 is probably the cheapest mid-engine car you can find right now, Nader. Yeah. Yep. But anyway. Okay. Yeah, I got your message. Your message are popping up, Nader. Got it. Scott Manley retweeted this and it made me belly laugh. I don't know, something about driving a van or a truck is also fun to drive, not responsive at all. And Roy, I'll tell you, driving this thing down the road feels like you're driving a tank. It's just big and heavy. And there is something to it, man. There is definitely something to it. Dude, it glides. That thing rides pretty damn good for a truck. It's not bad. It's not the worst. I mean, it is truck. It's just kind of lumbering around, but the ride is smooth. Hey, Mutter, 100 months. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks, Erudite. Yeah, done, yeah. I got all the paint off the hood and the cowl. That's what I did yesterday. There's a lot of work. Yeah, dude, there's something to driving that. And if you're over here, I'll let you drive the 97 around, dude. It's got a stick shift in it. It's cool, man. It's like, dude, the throw on the stick is like a mile long. It feels like you're driving a steam engine. It's like, it's pretty fun, dude. Engage, yeah. Like, dude, the throw is no joke, like a foot. It's like 30 centimeter throw. It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, it's like, dude, driving that thing is like driving around a bus. Dude, it's heavy. It's a heavy truck, dude. It doesn't look like much, but that thing weighs 3,000 kilos. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It is heavy. You feel it driving down the road. It's kind of like, you feel that thing. You can feel the weight when you step on the brakes. You're like, oh, okay. It's a 6,000-pound truck. It's pretty fun to drive. I like it, man. It's a good time. I only drive it when I need to use it, though. You know, I'll just drive the cars around. Anyway. All right, dudes. Talk about cars. We can talk about cars all day. Talk about state of the stream, but I think I know what I need to do. I got to be more adaptive with how we're doing stuff. But that's no problem. Like, just got to find the blend. 66 Comet with 3 on the tree was fun to drive. Ooh, the Ford-O-Matic. I think, no, that's not a Ford-O-Matic. That would be the automatic. Cool car, though. 3 on the tree is fun. Gosh, the road tax over there would be like $1,500 a year. Road tax? Yeah. I bet you'd get a kick out of driving something CDL rated. Yeah? There's a YouTube channel that's making me like heavy-duty trucks. You guys ever watch Zip Ties and Bias Plies? That guy's a nutcase. In a good way. Like, it's really funny, actually. He released a video yesterday where he bought a 1980 Kenworth with a crane on the back. So it had power takeoff to a hydraulic, like a little hydraulic crane, and then it had a fifth wheel behind it too. So it was like an extended cab. It was an extended cab semi-truck, right? Or a long wheelbase semi-truck with a day cab on it, and then a crane behind it, and then a fifth wheel, which is super freaking cool, actually. Yeah, that I was like, oh, I like cranes and I like trucks. This does both of those. That's pretty neat. No, Vlam, I haven't seen it. Wosnor, 51 months. It's minus 20C. Ooh, it was -10 here to start the day. Booster 10 is being rolled, presumably one of the bays for final specs. Yeah, I see it. I have Starbase Live up over there. Cool. I love that guy. The dude is insane. Yeah, he's pretty good, Sawyer. Yeah. Pretty good. Road tax. Okay. We don't really have road tax on vehicles here, Noswolf. We have, the closest thing in my state would be an excise tax. You know, if you have more vehicles on your property, you have to pay a small tax on it. But that's like, for all of my cars combined, that's like $20 to $30 or something. The excise tax is nothing out in the woods, which is really funny. If you live in the city, it's a lot higher. Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah. We pay the road tax as gas tax. Ugh.
Discovery,
Yeah.
go
Hey,
and throttle up.
Nader. Yeah, there you go. Nader. That's the tier 1 sub. Thanks, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So the gasoline tax. Yeah. Registration is a vehicle tax. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, we pay for the roads with gas prices. Yikes. Tim, you got it nice. One car can cost us max $2,400 a year. Lee. I like that, Hellfish. Yeah, it's EV converted. Yeah. Yeah, if you have more vehicles that are registered, like unregistered vehicles, it doesn't matter, Nader. Like, but yeah, registered vehicles that are on the road, you pay an excise tax on in this state. Yeah, Artyom, yeah. It would. When you spell it out like that, you're just like, damn, dude. You pay tax on the car, then you pay tax on the gas, then you pay tax apart. It's like, okay. But that could easily spiral into that kind of discussion, which I'm not interested in having. So let's not. Home Built by Jeff is going to build a 54 F600 on a Toyota bus chassis and turn it into a car hauler like a show truck. Cool. Virginia has a tax on the vehicle value every year. Yeah, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. That just I'm good. All right. I'm going to go take a quick pee break and then we'll jump into science mode, dude. We got stuff to do. We got a capsule to make. Come on. Come on, hands.